Hi everybody, thanks for joining me. I am here, me and Tuki, who has half of her body stuffed in to a project bag that I brought down, but it only has a blanket on it, so I don't think she's gonna do any damage. But hello everyone. I hope that you're finding some ways to enjoy winter if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. Don't you love watching all of those, like if you follow Australian knitting tube, or in my case, booktube, since I am a big watcher of booktube videos. Don't you love watching the Australians and the New Zealanders in their summer? I can't get enough. I am wearing, don't worry about this microphone sitting on crunching my acrylic blend store-bought sweater because it'll just be fine. I've had this for years. It's a real workhorse in what was my work wardrobe and kind of is now because I'm doing some consulting and therefore sometimes I'm on Zoom calls. So good. I threw this on because I did a fun Santa 5K race this morning. My sister was part of running it at the YMCA. It's a big fundraiser. It was a Santa run. Santa was there. It wasn't that cold out, but it was, you know, when you're wearing running layers, when you're standing there waiting for the race to start, it is cold. Normally when I'm running here at home, or if I drive to a park, I'm just running right out of the car. I'm not standing around waiting. So I had an extra coat, and then because my car was right there. This is a small town, beautiful town along the river. And it was really fun. It was fun to hang out with my sister. I'll put up a photo here. She's wearing fingerless mitts that I made just for myself with some really fun Knit Picks yarn called Go-Go boots, either in bulky or worsted or something. And I think I saw her one day and I said, hey, would you like these? Because they weren't going to fit into anything else that I was wearing on a regular basis, since I was also making some hats. I don't know why, but she didn't want to wear hats. So she's not a cold person like me. So, you know, how convenient to not be cold all the time. So yeah, it was really fun. What a great atmosphere. And so I came home and I took a very quick Epsom salt bath because especially for my legs and hamstrings, and well, for my glutes and hamstrings, because I had run the day before, yesterday. I wasn't sure if I was going to run this race today for a number of reasons. So I just went ahead and took advantage of the nicer temps yesterday. Epsom salt is an amazing thing. Highly recommend. Doesn't even take very long. You don't even have to fill the bathtub up to the very top. Are you enjoying the Vlogmas? Anyone that's doing Vlogmas? I know I am. I just love the little daily little snippets. I am watching Ruth from Counting Sheep. This is my second year. Ruth is a Vermonter with a small farm with, I think, 6 sheep. She works part-time, I believe, at the Woolly Thistle, an amazing knitter, but also a very talented crocheter. It's from her that I learned that there was even a thing called Tunisian crochet. She made a pair of pants, and she's got this beautiful dog named Cooper, who's a senior, and I just love all the coziness that she serves up during Vlogmas. And then I am watching M to the Third, Mackenzie, who lives in Portland, and she has her own yarn dyeing, natural dyeing company, and she also works at Starlight Knitting Society along with her pal, not a sibling, only in the energy, Tim from Sibling Energy. They also make podcasts together. Oh, and Jen Gagley. I love Jen's videos. Jen is the person who gave me the idea of running to IKEA first thing when it opened a couple days ago. And I grabbed these beautiful pillowcases for my living room that were just on clearance. So she was talking about some Christmas things on clearance, and I'm having some people over for a white elephant on Christmas Day. And so I wanted to get some napkins and things, and all that stuff was, I guess, on clearance, or at least I'll say marked down. And then I wanted these, which I'll show you a photo of. I wanted these pillowcases that they had out this year because I have the 18 by 18 pillows and I just switch out different pillowcases. And I saw they were sold out. I was disappointed. I was like, oh, well. And I always check the as is section in IKEA now before I check out. And those pillowcases, I don't know why, 2 of them at least were sitting in a bin for $3. So I checked the zippers, everything was fine, and now they're here, and I'm so happy. So yeah, I don't do a lot of decorating. My decorating is simple, and it's mostly things that I've picked up over the years, as many of us do after Christmas. And you can remember walking in somewhere and picking up the thing that was on clearance. Before we get into looking at my queue, I will just give you a very short update on my sweater. And then I'll come back at a certain point and do a real catch up. But those of you that have been here before, I'll remind you that I was making a petite knit Frankie sweater out of double Sunday. And it just wasn't going well. I could not get the neck to look right on me, or that I was happy with, even after changing a little bit. And then the raglan was so deep, like the whole sweater was coming up. So then I was going to make a Sorry Nordland striped sweater. I was pretty sold on that. And then at the last minute, I saw Allie Makes Everything remind me about her Lyon sweater, petite knit. And so that's what I decided to do. The main reason is it has these shoulders that I think someone in a comment said are European shoulders. I'm so sorry if I have that wrong. Let me see if I can get it. Ignore this. Okay. Do you see that shoulder? So yeah, it's a raglan, but as you can see from the front, I should have had this on a hanger. Look at the crispness of what appears to be at the top, a set-in sleeve. So cool. So yeah, I did the sleeves. I don't normally do the sleeves so early, but I'll catch you up on why I did that. And so now I'm just working on the body, and I love this yarn so much. Yes, it's going to pill horribly, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm working on the body and everything's going fine. I did some body decreases, which I'm hoping work out. And I'll catch you up on that later. But I'll catch you up on that, plus a couple other things that I'm doing in another video. But let's get to the queue. So the reason I had this idea was that it was Good Yarn Bad Knits did a video about her queue. And I think she had the same experience where early on in her use of Ravelry, she was using a queue. And I was too. And then I realized, oh, but wait, there's this other thing called a favorites section. And then I couldn't figure out, I was just dumping things in either which way. And I realized, like, a queue for me in Ravelry is like in the book world having a TBR, to be read pile. Sometimes people will make a pile, especially if you're on BookTube, they'll just like plan out every month. I shouldn't say especially if you're on BookTube, but certainly it's talked about on BookTube, that like, oh, these are the books I want to try to get to. Maybe I won't get to them, but this is what I'd love to be reading in November, whatever. I realized, like, I don't think I've ever done a TBR. I don't really talk about my reading in a TBR sense because I'm so mood driven. And same thing here. Most of the time, I'll have this expansive idea. Like right now, I can tell you that I will 99% sure, as I said in my last video, that I definitely want to be doing some color work, and it will probably be in a vest or a short-sleeved color work thing that I can wear as a vest. I am totally consumed with color work right now, and needing to do some more. So I thought it would be fun for me to share with you what my queue looks like. And I'll put some photos up here because I honestly have not opened it up forever. I thought maybe I would delete things from my queue and move them over to favorites, but I haven't done that. So let's open it up and we'll just spend a few minutes doing that. The other reason that I thought this would be fun is because I haven't used my queue for a long time. And I've been knitting since about April of 2024, that these are going to be things that I was dreaming about or thinking I was going to knit, but I had no real idea about whether I would like that or like the weight of yarn or the style. So how have things changed, or haven't they? Vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars. Oh my God. Crazy sock lady. Absolutely my recipe that I stayed with. I shouldn't say recipe, it's a pattern. I use the vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars. I use the heel flap and gusset. I have tried the shadow wrap heel. I haven't gone back and tried it since I was brand new. I can hardly figure it out. So, maybe I would try it. I've been thinking about doing that. I keep thinking that I will. And the first pair of socks I ever knit were the whole 64 row leg. I'll put a picture in here if I have one. And it was with Regia yarn, which I love, and I haven't ever gone back to, which I really need to. It's really cool. It's rustic. I don't know if it has nylon in it. It may or may not. Yeah, here it is. Queued April 19th, 2024. Oh, it even has the dates. That's so cool. Okay, next one. Biella by Paula Pereira. This was a newish pattern at the time, and this is so much like a Sophie scarf, except it has a more exaggerated rounded triangle. Yeah, this is really, they're calling it a scarf Dana. This was done as a fundraiser. Beautiful though. So yeah, I should move that over to favorites because, oh, and here's where I can tell by these two next ones, number 3 and number 4, I was looking at tees because I started knitting in April. So naturally I was like, oh yeah, I'll do something summery. And I bought, like really early on, I bought during a sale a Pearl Soho Santalina, which I really like that yarn. But so here's the Tombow tee by Florence Miller, probably set in sleeve. Let's take a look. That looks set in sleeve to me. And then another set in sleeve, the color tip tee. I loved this tee. Yeah, the front and back are knit flat until they're joined at the underarm and body is knit in the round. A short row cap sleeve. Do you know how confused I tried to do, was it Emily Curtis? Was it this? It was, I don't know which one it was, but it was something like this. I don't think it's in my queue anymore, but I have another one in here, which is Lily Kate Makes Feels Right Tee. Again, set in sleeve. I think it was the color tip tee or something similar that I tried to make with that Santalina. And number one, that was my first time doing short rows. And I had to draw out short rows in order to understand what we were doing because I kept messing it up. So that was fun. I found that diagram on a piece of paper when I was going through a pile of patterns that I printed out. And I could not then understand. So I got that figured out in the back, but then this, whatever pattern, whether it was the color tip tee or something, had you doing a short row cap. No, I couldn't do it. It was too early on. And so then I ripped it out. There were so many mistakes. I probably talked about it in a video early on that I was going to frog it because there were just so many, like it was so Dr. Seussy. Okay. So Another one here is the lento. I love to be reminded of the lento because I feel like someday, like I've never, it says La Bien-Aimée Merino and La Bien-Aimée Kumo. You hold them together and it's a really big gauge. It's made on US 10s. I love the idea of that. I have never, still have not held two yarns together to make something or a garment. So I can see why the lento, I think this was probably in a Lina magazine that had come out. Well, no, the Lina magazine is from 2021, but it had a resurgence in 2024. I keep thinking about the lento. I actually thought I was going to make one this year, but I didn't. I can tell by the next two that I had discovered Anka Strick because there's two patterns and I was just crazy about her designs. And so I have two of these in my queue. One is fingering weight, which again, like at the time, knitting an entire turtleneck, mind you, or at least mock neck, tall mock neck on fingering. I had no idea. I just could not have conceived of, my God, long sleeves. This was done on a US 3.25 millimeter. Beautiful lines. I mean, just look at just the simplicity. Wow. It's stunning. And then the other one was, yeah, it's a t-shirt. And this is fingering weight, really pretty. This looks like a really gentle raglan. So it was just me discovering Anka Strick. And I follow her on Instagram and just absolutely beautiful. Here's one that, yeah, I think it was probably the colors and the way that it wasn't too oversized. It's Jessie Made Designs Cozy Classic Raglan, made with Ritual Dyes Maiden and Ritual Dyes Faye. So she's holding two yarns together, and this was a DK weight. And I know I was attracted to the variegated yarn, which I don't think I would use really in a pattern, but it's beautiful. And yeah, this Ritual Dyes Maiden must be a variegated yarn. But I really liked the photo of her friend Park Williams wearing the brownish one. I think that's probably the one that got me. And that one, yeah, but see, this is a fingering in mohair again, which I wasn't doing. So I don't know. I know you could do it with a DK weight, but it creates, now I know that holding those types of two yarns together makes a sweater so much more light, and that's really cool. Hi, Took. Hi. Oh, thank you for joining us. The next one is the Party Line scarf, which is so cute, by Casey Apple. I love the color that she I always thought I was going to make this, and I've never made it because I just keep making Sophie scarves. Just seems to be a pattern that I like using, but she's made it in a sport yarn, and I was so attracted to the red. I can't even tell you. I do have the step-by-step sweater in here, no surprise. I did end up making very early on the by Florence Miller. I did end up making the step-by-step cardigan because that was my first cardigan, and it was really nice having the full tutorial to do it. The Sabai top. So these two, the next two things I remember came out within days of each other. I can tell by the dates or that I added them. The Sabai top by Suzanne Mueller and the Sevilla blouse by Petite Knit. I still think about making the Sevilla blouse, but it's DK and fingering, and it's like supposed to be a summery sweater. So I know you're supposed to be making it in summery yarn, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I do think the Sabai top could. There's everything about it is still appealing to me. So I probably have these things in my favorites also. There's the step-by-step cardigan. No surprise. Oh, the super simple summer sweater by Joji Locatelli. I love her sample. The one she's wearing it's made with Rosa Pomar Mungo, a yarn that I really like the thought of, but I ordered a skein and it's a little bit too rough for me. And this is done on a US 6. It's worsted. It's a worsted weight. I just love the two colors and the vibe of this sweater. I think it's a circular yoke. So that was just purely on looks, is that super simple sweater. And let's see when the queue ends. Yeah, it ends in September of 2024. So I have one more garment in the queue, and that is the Irene Slipover by, who is this by? Irene Slipover by Journey Through Yarn. I think I have this in my favorites because everything about this slipover, the texture, the color I love it. I absolutely love it. What kind of stitch is that? I wouldn't have even been paying attention really to what type of stitch other than its texture, and I just would have known that it wasn't cable. But let's see. The Irene Slipover has a continuous textured stripe pattern. Crew neckline is worked top down. The yoke is worked flat and joined in the round for the body. That you can do a split hem or regular. It has a private video tutorial. Oh, that's so cool. And a summary of textured pattern as a chart and illustrations. Oh, that's so cool. Let's see what kind of yarn this is, because I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't think I would make it with the split hem. I'm just not really a split hem person. She made it with woolly knit merino wool 4-ply. And then there's another suggestion, which is the Scottish Yarn Festival Clan DK. There are 28 projects. Yeah, you know what? This might be a good one to actually try knitting for Olive Held double. But I would like to know a little bit more about the stitch itself. Like, would I even... So that's it. There's nothing crazy. There's probably more crazy things in my favorites from the start. Before I let you go, I think what happened was, I mean, I have 13 pages of favorites. That's how insane this really is. I think I must have, after September of 2024, I started using favorites, and that was that. So yeah, no big surprises. The last 3 items in my queue were pumpkins that I saved because I thought I was going to be making knitted pumpkins, and especially for my daughter's wedding, which was going to be the following fall. We just had the wedding, or she just had the wedding in October, but she decided that her wedding was not going to be in typical fall colors. It was going to be more like burgundies and rich green and plum and all that. Thank you for joining me on this walk down memory lane in my queue. I think there's a couple things that I should move over to favorites, and but you know how it is. Will you really ever do that? Probably not. I'll just save my queue for memory's sake, and that'll be fun. Please tell me if you actually use your queue. I really love it when I hear podcasters say, like, next in my queue, because I just love the thought of that. I think that's so organized to just like randomly work off of favorites like I do and collect way too many favorites. I think most of us probably do. Less than 18 months into knitting, and I already have 13 pages of favorites. So that's crazy. Thank you for joining me. I will be back with a knitting catch up and letting you know about some holiday specific things that I'm making. No gift knitting for me. Well, actually, there is something I'm making for my daughter, but it's not specifically for Christmas. So I'll get into that in a week or so. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.